that's still a problem for me. And so she makes like all these excuses when really the excuse is herself and that she doesn't. Hello, book besties. Welcome back to my channel. If I'm a new face to you, my name is Lauren, aka Lauren Page Reads on Instagram and TikTok. And I am so excited to share with you guys my April reading wrap up, because can I get a round of applause since I hit my goal of 10 books this month. Woo! I did it, and I did it early actually, so that has been wonderful. Also, just a quick note, do you guys like my shirt? It says curl up with a good book, and it has a cute little kitty cat on it with some books. And I just want to share that if you like this shirt, or if you like bookish themed goodies, accessories, shirts, sweatshirts, all that type of stuff, you can use the link in my bio to Story Arts to get 10% off your orders. And that is also a way of helping me. And on another note, I'm about to get into my data and then my books. And if you are curious about any of the books that I'm talking about in this video, I will have them linked in the description as well. And those are affiliate links. And if you decide to purchase a book from any of those links, any of the books that I'm talking about, you are also helping me. So I want to say thank you for helping a small content creator out. And let's get into it, because April was really a great reading month, because if you know me, I am a seasonal mood reader, and spring equals cute romance books. So just a warning, if you do not like contemporary romance books, maybe skip this video, because there's a lot of them. Sorry, but I'm not sorry. So go ahead, get yourself a nice warm little beverage. It is currently too hot in North Carolina for a blanket. I have the windows open, so let's just get into it, shall we? Okay, I'm just realizing I did not total up my pages. I usually love saying how many pages I do. I'm gonna just have it on the screen. I will do it after this video, because what a task that is. But in the month of April, I read 10 books, so I am perfectly on track to hit my 120 books this year. So that means I have read 40 books already this year. That is wonderful, and I am so proud of myself. And make sure you stick around to the very end of the video, because this year I am making a crocheted book blanket for all the books that I've read this year. If I do the math perfectly and 120 books, honestly, this blanket is going to be able to fit on my bed, if I'm being honest. Like, I thought it would be lap size. No, it's gonna fit on my bed, okay guys? At the end, I will show you what it looks like all together, but with each book that I do, I will show the granny square that I've crocheted to go along with that book. Data points. I read 5 romance books, 4 fantasy books, and 1 magical realism book. Yeah, half my books were romances this month. Yep, yeah. For the formats of how I consumed these books, 4 of them were on Kindle, 5 of them were hard copies, either paper or hardback, and only 1 was audiobook. And that 1 audiobook was a struggle to get through, I'm gonna be honest with you. And I started doing the 75 books challenge. I don't know if I've really talked about it on here, but that has really helped me read more books off my physical TBR. It's been really interesting to see that correlation. Okay, so let's just get into the books, shall we? The first book I read in April was The Magic of Light by Jordan Abbott. She is an indie author, and this book is available on Kindle Unlimited. I rated it 4.5 stars. This book was absolutely adorable. I loved it so much. She is a Christian writer, but the book is not Christian romance, if that makes sense. But it is a romance book that is just sweet. It's very clean, and it was just a delight to read. I read it while I was traveling to and from a work conference I had to go to at the end of March, early April, and it was just, it is what I needed while my head was so consumed with work brain. It was perfect. I loved it, and I think I actually did cry at the ending, because I finished it on a plane with my boss sitting next to me, and I was crying. So beautiful, beautiful book. Oh, I guess I'll tell you a little bit about it. So our main character, I can't remember her name. She is a social worker, and one of the children in her care ends up running away while she's trying to transport him to temporary housing. And he runs away on a farm that our male main character, our MMC, owns and works, and he has a past. It's not a beautiful past. It's really hard, but as they get to know each other, they find out that they have this weird connection. And I'm not going to tell you a single thing about it because I want you to go read this book. It is the first book in a series. I think this is the first book that Jordan Abbott's has published, and I am officially a Jordan Abbott's fan girl. So please guys, go blow up this book for her because it is so good. The second book of April was a reread for me. I'd read this book like years ago, probably like 2018. Yeah, but I wanted to reread it. Also, I needed to download some books from my library for the said work trip. I was worried I was gonna have all this free time to read books, which like I really didn't. So I downloaded the whole series, and it is Daughter of the Pirate King by Trisha Levenseller. And this was a reread. It was on my Kindle, and I rated this one 3.75 stars. Part of me is like, I think that's because this is YA fantasy. When I read this one for the first time, I listened to it on audiobook and I loved it. But I was also right at that age. And sometimes as I've been getting a little bit older, I'm like, I don't feel like YA hits the same for me anymore. Also, this book is so extremely violent. I'm like, I don't know if I would let my child read this book. Like, what was I reading? Oh my goodness. Overall, the storyline is really good. She is literally the daughter of the Pirate King, and he sends her on a mission. She gets captured on purpose. She has to find this map that will take them to a siren island that is filled with riches and blah, blah, blah. But is she fully human? I mean, is she? Oh, and then there's like this swashbuckling pirate son. He's the second son. He's not the heir, but he's the second son, so he's the first mate and all this type of stuff. And they have a little chemistry going, you know what I'm saying? So overall, it was a good book. Whew, I don't know if YA is hitting the same for me anymore. I don't know. I'm really questioning why my mom did not look at any of the books that I was reading. The third book of April that I read was The Nanny by Lana Ferguson, and I rated it 3.25 stars. This was a paperback copy. I'd had this book for a very long time, and it looked really cute. And it was. I just want to let everybody know that it is spicy. And I think I knew that going into it. I didn't know how spicy it was, but I will say there is a lot of spice in it. Usually it happens near the end of chapters, so you can just skip over it if you desire. That is not why I rated it lower. The storyline was really cute. It was a very unique storyline. I love that the MMC was a single dad. He was a chef. His baby mama had passed away, and so now he was the one solely in charge of his 9-year-old daughter. One part of it that I didn't like was the writing kind of infantilized, maybe that's it, the daughter. So she kind of seemed more like a 6-year-old versus a 9-year-old in my opinion. Those are very different ages and like developmental stages in my mind, but it kind of made her seem younger than she was, if that makes sense. Because I swear she was 9 because she turned 10 in the book. Like, it's not like she was 6 and turned 7. I swear I'm remembering this correctly. Our main character, she was on OF for a while, and she developed this connection with one of her subscribers, and it turns out, you know, this guy who hired her to be the nanny to his daughter might just have been her biggest fan. So very cute book, really like it. I can't remember like what city they're in or if they even say at a certain point. Maybe it is New York. I don't think it's New York. I don't know where it's at. I don't know where it takes place. Overall, it was a very cute book, just had a lot of spice in it, and some parts of the story didn't make sense. So the fourth book of April, right? Yeah, the fourth book was Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. And I bought this one 3 days, no, maybe a week after release day, because I was having like a real bad day. And I was like, you know what? Take yourself over to Barnes & Noble, go get that book, start reading that book. You will feel better. And Abby Jimenez has done it once again. And now I need to go and I need to get her full collection and just read all of her books because I really do enjoy them. And I rated Say You'll Remember Me 5 stars. It was a 5-star book for me. And if you've been on Book Talk, there are people who love this book and people who hate this book. And I don't understand the hate it's getting. It's very realistic. Our FMC, her name's Samantha, I think. Yeah, her name is Samantha. I think his is Ethan. We'll just go with those names. And if I got them wrong, I'll put something up on the screen. But Samantha is a marketing director for a mustard company, and she has to move back down to California to be with her family because her mother has early onset dementia at like in her mid 50s, early to mid 50s. on literally her last day in Minnesota, she finds this cat. She takes it to this vet, or it's like in her last couple weeks. Anyways, the cat needs life-saving surgery because she doesn't have a hole every living being is supposed to have. Anyways, so they have this chemistry, blah, blah, blah. And he takes her on literally the best date she's ever been on. They have this instant connection, but she's moving. So she's like, forget me, okay? Like, we can't have this. They keep having this connection. They have a long-term or long-distance relationship. It is a heartbreaking book, but it does have a happy ending, guys. So once again, Abby Jimenez has done it, and it was such a good book. It was such a good book. The 5th book of April was Daughter of the Siren Queen by Trisha Levenseller, which is the second one in the Daughter of a Pirate King series, okay? And I rated this one 3.5 stars. I think there's a trash truck coming for some reason. Let me check. Yeah, it was a trash truck. That's fine. I just like having my windows open to get a breeze, so I'm sorry if you hear trash truck noises. Anyways, I rated this one 3.5 stars. I did like it about the same. Once again, really violent. But our main character, I cannot remember her name. She reconnected with her mom, she reconnected with her mom, found out that her dad, the Pirate King, had kidnapped her mom and kept her in a prison in his office for her entire life. Anyways, so she helps the sirens out and she connects more with the siren side of her. She saves the siren. They call it a charm, like the group of sirens, whatnot. And overall, it's a wonderful adventure, but our male main character, the love interest, he is still there, okay? Oh, I think I forgot to mention in the first one, she runs a ship entirely filled with women, except for like a couple men, because she needs to be able to communicate with her siren abilities when she is off the ship. But yeah, so she is a total baddie. Book number 6 of April was What the Cat Dragged In by Kate McMurray, and I rated this one 3.25 stars. Whew. I'd had this book on my shelf for a while. I wanted a cute rom-com book once again, and this book just didn't hit. Like, I don't know. I like romance books where the problem seems very realistic and the characters have real reactions to it, and the problem wasn't that realistic because our MMC, the love interest, he is a lawyer. And his sister is the manager of a cat cafe. Our FMC works as like the marketing PR person for said cat cafe. And she is best friends with the manager. So they meet, they don't realize they have this connection until oopsies, after the first night they're together. And so she's all like, oh, your sister's super protective of you, blah, blah, blah. We can't be together. Eventually in the story, the sister finds out and she's like a little upset. She's like, it's kind of weird, but if y'all are happy, go ahead. Not a problem with it. Just don't break his heart. That's my one rule. And so then the FMC, she's like, oh, her name is Paige. She's like, that's still a problem for me. And so she makes like all these excuses when really the excuse is herself and that she doesn't want to get into a relationship because she's scared of being in a relationship. But girl, like, you were swiping on dating apps for years. You were going on dates for years. Why would you have not figured that out before going on dating apps and swiping and then meeting this guy and then putting the anyways, I just don't think I liked this book. End of story. I don't like talking negatively about a book. It just didn't seem realistic. But the setting was really cool. It was set in Brooklyn, which, like, that was a vibe. It was a vibe. And I think it was set, like, in springy time. I don't know. The setting was definitely a vibe. Oh, and they talked about food a lot. What was that? Number 6? Okay, so book number 7 of April was Our Infinite Fates by Laura Steven. And I rated this one a solid 4 stars. And I finished this one on the last reading vlog that I uploaded. It was the video right before this one. I'll link it somewhere. And I loved this book. Magical realism. I got it in my Book of the Month Club box. It was just overall a great vibe, and I'm so happy I got a chance to read it. It's about these two people, okay? And they get reincarnated every 18 years into new bodies, into new families, in new parts of the world. And they've been doing this for 1,000 years. And one of them, Arden, knows why. But the other one, Evelyn, she does not know why. And they are not given these names in every life, but innately they know these are their names. But the thing is, they have to unalive each other by the time they turn, or like right before their 18th birthday, or something bad is going to happen. And this is in their current life in, I think, the year 2022 or 2023, something like that. And it is approaching their birthday. And so Evelyn is like on the lookout for Arden. She's on the lookout for him. It was a really great book. And I'd heard some discourse about it on Book Talk, specifically Christian Book Talk, and people felt convicted not to read this. They regretted reading it. I was okay with it because, like, for me, it was just a book. But also, if you are feeling convicted to not read this book or not finish it, that's fine. There was a part where it clicked like why people felt that way, but for me, it wasn't a big deal because I also don't think the writer is a Christian writer. This book is not Christian fiction, and the situation is entirely fictional. There's a lot of parts of it that I think people have problems with, but for me, I'm like, it's just a book. I really just want to read this book. Okay, that one was 7. So this one is 8. And the 8th book of April was My Magnolia Summer by Victoria Benton Frank. And I read this in that same reading blog that I had just tagged. And I rated this one 3.75 stars. While I was reading it, I was not enjoying it. But once I finished the book, I did enjoy it. Because our main character, she is a chef in New York City. I read a lot of like New York City books, my gosh. But she has to travel back home to Charleston, South Carolina for a bit because her grandmother has been in a bad car accident kind of caused by her mother, who is a raging alcoholic and just has a lot of issues. But now the grandmother is in a coma and somebody needs to run the restaurant while life is blowing up. This one was kind of marketed more as a romance book. It was more women's fiction. There was romance in it, but it was much more women's fiction. And there is a second book coming out in August, and I think that one will have more of a romance vibe. Overall, I really did enjoy this book. It had a lot of secrets, and the next book is set up really well to kind of finish off those secrets that we didn't get answers to. So I am very happy with it. I probably will read that second book when it comes out or a little bit after. But this one, it talked about food so much. And last summer I went to Charleston with my mom, okay? So it was kind of fun to like revisit that culture. Also, I think I talked about this in the reading vlog, but their accents, sometimes when people speak in books, like the dialogue, you kind of just do it in your own voice, but they're Southern accents in this book. And I don't know if it's just because I live in this area where I am around a lot of Southern accents. I don't know, but their accents were so strong and like I could hear them in my head. So I think that is just some beautiful writing. The food, man, I was really wanting to go down to Charleston and eat some of this food. Like, whew, that was great. Okay, book number 9. We are almost done, guys. Book number 9 was Vengeance of the Pirate Queen by Trisha Levenseller. And this is the third and final book of Daughter of the Pirate Queen. But this one does not follow whoever that main character's name was. I cannot remember her name for the life of me. But instead it follows her assassin. And her assassin kind of has a love interest as well. So she is sent on a special trip to go rescue some of her girls who were spies on the Land King's mission. Okay? And the trip just keeps going south. Way south. Wow. And it's her first time captaining a ship, and it's a really weird mission, but I loved this character so much. She was like, yeah, she is an assassin, and so she is hardened and that type of stuff. But in this book, she opens up and she kind of opens herself up to love. Now she is like 17 or 18, but overall it was a really cute book. And yes, while this one was very violent and also very dark, so I'm kind of like, my goodness, why fiction? Wow. But it was really cute, and I am glad that I finished reading this series in this world. I'm kind of like, maybe she'll do another one or two, but yeah, I am glad because I hadn't read this one in the past. I'd stopped just at The Daughter of the Siren Queen and I hadn't kept reading. But this time I was like, well, all of them are available at my library on my Kindle, so I'll download all of them and read all of them. Oh, I didn't say, but I rated this one 4 stars. I don't think I said that. We are at the end, guys. Thank goodness. Because the 10th and final book that I read was The Two Towers by J.R.R. Tolkien. And I listened to this one on Audible, so audiobook format. And I rated this one 3 stars. Okay, so if you've been following my monthly reading wrap-ups, I've been listening to the whole Lord of the Rings series, starting with The Hobbit, which I guess is technically whatever, but I've been reading through it, and I think this one is the second one in the Lord of the Rings series. It was so slow. It was so slow. And like the parts, like I understand it, like it had book 1, book 2, book 3, and they were all different perspectives because the party got split up. I understand that. But also it ended on such a cliffhanger, and like all of book 3 was slightly boring. I got so sick of Gollum Smeagol talking, like yuck. And it just like was not progressing. It was not progressing. It was interesting, but the story just, it was not going. So I think Return of the King is the last one in this series. Hopefully I'll finish reading it in May and I can give y'all like a full update on it. But yeah, this was like my least favorite book in the series yet, because I think the other 2 have been 4 stars and this one was a 3. So I'll let you know. Also, it wasn't like as like cozy vibe, you know, it got more serious. Like it got more serious. But yeah, once I finish reading all the books, I'll probably end up watching the movies. So, but there we go. Those are the 10 books I read in April. I'm really happy that I hit my goal. 10 books a month is a very achievable goal for myself. And this month I read more with my eyes than I have in all of the months in 2025 to date. So I am really proud of myself. Not me being a ding dong. Here is my reading blanket. So I did April in this really fun blue border color to signify it. And yeah, it is getting quite big. I think, especially for the warmer months, I might attach the full rows, but wait until a really chilly day to actually sew them together. Because I attached this April row right before recording this video, and this blanket is toasty, let me tell you. But it's starting to look more and more like an actual blanket, which is exciting. And you can see it takes up like my entire arms. She's big. She's big. She's gonna be a nice blanket, let me tell you. So yeah, they're all happy, all very happy little squares. So yeah. What do you guys think about these books? Do you have any recommendations for me of what I should read in May? I am going to try to get to some new releases that I didn't have time to get to in April, but let me know your thoughts on these books and kind of how I rated them. It was kind of like a wish-wash month. Like I either loved a book or I did not like it, and yeah. But I didn't have any DNFs. I really thought about DNFing What the Cat Dragged In, but I was like, no, we're gonna tough this one out and just finish it. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching this April reading wrap up. If you enjoyed watching this video, consider giving it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and ring that bell so you never miss out on any of the bookish videos that I post. Because I post a new video for you to enjoy each and every Friday where I get up to bookish shenanigans. So until next time, book bestie, happy reading. Bye. Lukewarm coffee.